they made a couple of small changes to the autosave, which I really like. So I'm going to go up to the Edit heading and then go to Preferences and Autosave. The autosave is automatically on, saving it every 15 minutes. I tend to leave these at the defaults. In the old days, with earlier versions of Premiere, maybe particularly Premiere 4 and Premiere 3, I'd like to turn the autosave to be a bit faster than every 15 minutes because I was expecting it to crash. I very rarely get crashes with Premiere these days. I might have the odd little issue, but I very rarely get crashes, so I'm quite happy to leave that autosaving every 15 minutes. But a nice thing that they've added here is this: autosave it to the Creative Cloud, because you've got a Creative Cloud account. You're not really using it very much with any of the Adobe software. All the software comes down and it lives on your computer. It's not on the cloud, but you have got a bit of storage space there, so why not use it? If you tick that, it will save your projects to the Creative Cloud. So in addition to having a copy of the project file on your computer, it'll put it on the cloud, which is a nice backup. Does it automatically? You don't notice it. Imagine your whole hard drive died, you've got a backup of your footage somewhere, you've got your project on the cloud, you can get the project, stick the footage with it, and you'll be able to edit and get ready to work again. So it's great that you've got this automatic backup to the cloud. It's also got a bug, which I think is classic Adobe. It's really nice. They keep adding lots and lots of features into CC. They're adding more features than just about everybody else. They also tend to have little bugs here and there with lots of different things, which can get a bit annoying. And obviously they fix them, but they seem to have a bit more than everybody else. And this is just a really classic example of a kind of Adobe bug, which I expect to see these days with the Creative Cloud software. Because I'm going to tick it, and you'll notice it pops up with an error message saying, please install the Creative Cloud desktop application to enable this feature. And that message is cobblers. Basically, the Creative Cloud desktop application is this thing. It's the application which sits running on your computer all the time, sits down here next to the clock, and it lets you install applications and so on. It's running. I don't need to install it. It's running. That message is rubbish. Actually, this is a bug which you will get if you install CC 2015 from scratch. You don't get it if you've installed older versions and upgraded. The way to solve this is basically to stick something in the registry. So I'm going to get out of Premiere for the moment, and I'm going to go into the registry. The registry is an important basic part of your computer. So you've got to be a bit careful when you're fiddling with it, because if you delete the wrong things, you could mess it up entirely. If you are going to do this, just follow the procedure I'm explaining exactly. I'm in Windows 10 and I need to run a program called regedit. I really need to run it as an administrator, because you can't change things unless you're an administrator. So the simplest way I always find is just to go down to the Windows symbol, right click on it, and say Command Prompt Admin. Then I type in regedit, and then what I've got to do is I've got to come to this setting here, H key current user, and open it up. I've then got to go to Software and open that up. And then here I choose Adobe, open it up, go to Creative Cloud. Now what I've got to do is create what's called a new string. So all you do is you come over to this white area, right click and say new string. And you've got to type this in exactly right. Cloud folder path. No spaces, get the capitals right. Now I need to add a value into here. So I'm just going to double click on the blank space and get ready to type a value. But what is that value? Well, what I've got to do is tell it where my Creative Cloud files go. The easiest way is to go to your computer, go to the C drive, the users folder, choose the name of the user you are at the moment. So in this case, the user I'm called is Thunderbolt. And then go to this folder, Creative Cloud Files. So basically it's C, users, the name of your user, Creative Cloud Files. I need to type that in here. I find the easiest way is just click in the title bar and it changes it to be this bunch of text. Right click, copy, go to the blank space, right click, paste. So effectively what I'm doing is telling the registry where my Creative Cloud files are saved, which is something Premiere ought to stick in the registry itself. But for some bizarre reason, it isn't. Click OK, exit, go back into Premiere, open up my project, go to Preferences, Autosave, tick the box. Oh look, it's happy. Now when the autosaves happen, what happens is that Premiere will put a copy of the project into here, You can see I've already got some from previous projects. And then it automatically pops it up to the Creative Cloud. So that now means that I've got my original project, which is on the video drive. There's an automatic backup being made of it in my Creative Cloud folder on the C drive, and there's also a copy that gets sent up to the internet, which again it does in the background whilst I'm working, which means I've got copies in different places, which means if I ever have a problem, I've got a backup somewhere, which is majorly important. It's worth getting that going. Projects aren't very big. Look at these things. I mean, 1 megabyte, 400 kilobytes. These would fit on a floppy disk. Even when they get big, they only go up to 20, 30 or 40 megabytes. So they're not going to take that long to upload. You've got a couple of gigs worth of space on your Creative Cloud account. You might as well use it. And a good thing is just to have a backup of the project so that if everything goes horribly wrong, you can get your edit back together again. Another nice change is if I go to File, and then Project Settings and Scratch Disks, they've also added in the option to do your autosaves to a different folder. I've left this all the same as the project, and my project happens to be on my D drive in a folder called Premiere. But you can change it to something else. If you didn't like using the Creative Cloud to back it up, but you want to go to a cloud backup, you could perhaps browse and then maybe stick it in your OneDrive folder. I've signed in with a Microsoft account. I can choose to do the autosaves to a folder on my OneDrive, and again that goes off to the Microsoft OneDrive as opposed to the Creative Cloud. Or it could just be another folder on your hard drive. Personally, I tend to leave all the scratch disk stuff same as project. I like to make up a folder for every project and shove everything I'm using for the project in that folder and let all the temporary stuff go next to the project. I also go into the Preferences and go to the Media tab here, and I always tick this one, which saves all the other gubbins that Premiere makes up, all the conform files for the audio and everything else, all goes right next to the project. And I make sure the project's on a drive which is specified for video. And then everything that Premiere does all goes in there, apart from my automatic project backup, which is going up to the cloud as well.